So it's SEC season. We on week 6, ranking teams, power rankings. How you doing, Nick? Man, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good, man. Uh, we about to get after it and rank some teams, man. Hold on a second. Let me get Nick back up here. Rank some teams, man. Let's take a look in the chat real quick before we get started here. We got Dwight saying it's gonna be a completely different list. SEC Player Series. Absolutely correct, Dwight, in that. And we got D Huggy Beard himself checking in, the Rooster. How you doing? Yeah, man. So yeah, man, while we sitting here letting the intro roll, man, what do you think about this week? This was an interesting one, wasn't it?
Yes, it is, man. This is what this is gonna start seeing some movement. You're gonna start seeing a lot. This is where you can probably this week you can start having some conversation about maybe even putting some one loss teams in front of some undefeated teams. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. You getting enough data. You could possibly do that. It's gonna be interesting though, man. I'm excited about this ranking show, man. Y'all in the chat, man. Keyboard Collective, let me know what your rankings are. Drop your top 5, top 10, or just top teams in the chat. Give me any hot takes you got. What did you think about this weekend? Tell me about it. Let me know. Yeah, because we about to get into it, man. Of course, we're gonna rank these teams, like we always do about this time. So I won't belabor the point, Nick. Let's get after it, man, and get into it, man.
All right. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
All right, man. So yeah, we had an exciting week. We had some ups, had some downs, had some teams fall off, had a couple teams rise to the occasion. The rankings look a little bit different. So we gonna get after it, man. First of all, yeah, we checked in with the chat. Again, if you're watching and you aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, man, so you can become part of the Keyboard Collective. And if I'm not mistaken, Nick, they accepted members. Yeah, so make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can become a part of the Keyboard Collective. That way you can have your voice heard down in the chat section, down in the comment section. Again, if you're in the comment section, first of all, like the video if you like the video. If you love this content, subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel. And if you're in the comment section, man, let me know what your top teams are. Let me know what you think about this week. What teams you think are going to rise, what teams you think are going to fall. But we're going to get into it. Let's bring up our handy dandy ranking stage here, Nick.
All right.
There we have it. As you can see, if you're familiar with this, how we do it around these parts, we're ranking these teams based only on what they put on the field, nothing else. It's the only thing we're using to rank these teams is what they put on the field. We're not worried about what they did last year. We're not worried about what we think they're going to do in the rest of the season. We're only judging them by the 5 weeks of football that they have played.
Yep.
And we come up with the top 10, and the other 6 teams get left on the sideline. I know the question is going to come up. Why is Missouri? Why is USF on the screen? It's because on this show, when you lose to a group of 5 team, you get replaced by that Group of 5 team
Mhm.
until you win another SEC game. And unfortunately for these 2 teams, it might be a while.
Dang, Florida,
Uh,
dang, Arkansas, dang, Florida, dang, Arkansas.
oh, man. So, we got a tried and true method here of selecting who's gonna go first. It hasn't failed us yet so far since we've been implementing it, and it is the simple wheel. Mm, alright. As you can see, I went first last round, so we're gonna spin it again, and we're gonna see who gets the first round first pick of this.
Here we go. Here we go. Here
Mm.
we go.
Nick.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, man. So,
Take her through
let me
there. Take
bring
her through there. Yeah.
pull up the, shot clock there. Alright.
All right.
And, I got a feeling that, we're gonna agree on a lot of these. I don't know why. But got a strange feeling. Um,
Yeah. Very strange
alright.
feeling. Very strange feeling.
Alright, let's get to it. Nick,
Yo.
number 1 team in the SEC as of these 5 weeks going into week 6 based on what they put on the field from you is
The Ole Miss Rebels and the
Ole Miss
Fighting
at number
Lane
1.
Kiffins.
Ole Miss at number 1.
5
Tell
and
us
0.
about that one, man.
5 and 0, undefeated. And 3 and 0 in the SEC. Wins over Kentucky, wins over South Carolina, and got a very big win against LSU this past weekend. I thought that game kind of ended how I thought it would be. LSU offense not able to move the ball, and Ole Miss's offense being able to put up more points than LSU's offense. Than LSU's defense was able to stop. So yeah, man, I'm impressed so far through the first 5 weeks of play. Going into week 6, Ole Miss is my number 1 team this week in the SEC rankings.
Um, yeah, I agree with that, man. Not only they're the number 1 team, I mean, they're literally the number 1 team in the SEC, meaning they've
Yes,
won
they
the
are.
most SEC games. So,
They are.
big win against LSU right there. And how about Lane Kiffin, man? Just in a world where it's tough to find quarterbacks, man, how does this dude just
Mm,
continuously able to just spit them out? Like, it doesn't matter.
mm.
It's just, uh,
That's what you call somebody that's an evaluator of talent because Chambliss is a guy that was from Ferris State. Ferris State University, ladies and gentlemen. Ferris State. And he is able to have this guy play and compete at a very high level. Man, that's amazing. Shout out to Lane Kiffin, bro.
I mean, it's remarkable, man. He rarely misses at quarterback, and I mean, as Auburn fans, like it's tough. Been tough for us to find a quarterback through multiple coaches. So it's like, wow, the way he's able to put quality quarterback play on the field just seems like automatically it's just ridiculous, man. But like I said, through 5 weeks of football, man, Ole Miss has the best resume. Top team in the conference, 3-0 in the
Yep,
conference, 3 conference wins, undefeated, and they've looked good doing it.
yep. They have.
And they've
They have.
and they've had to avert their plan from their starting quarterback, and they still look good doing it.
And they still look good doing it. Yep.
Again, this is not projections. This is where they are right now. But man, if you look at the rest of Ole Miss schedule, ah, yeah, Lane might hit that 10-2 again.
I'm
It's
gonna be.
very
I'm
close.
listen, Lane Kiffin. Because I'm looking. Because when you said that, I had to think about that. Lane Kiffin. Excuse me. I didn't. I meant to say they beat Kentucky, Arkansas, and LSU. I think I said South Carolina earlier. They play South Carolina later on the read. I'm looking at the remainder of Ole Miss's schedule. Right. They have
Right.
Washington State this week at home. They go to Georgia, which is a winnable game. They have Oklahoma at home, which is a winnable game. Now,
Right.
they have South Carolina. Well, no, they have to go to Oklahoma. Excuse me. They have South Carolina at home, the Citadel at home, They have Florida at home, and then they end the season with Mississippi State. That
Yeah.
Mississippi State Ole Miss game could probably be the biggest game of that weekend.
Might be game of the week that week,
It
huh?
might be game of the week that weekend. Because I'm sitting here looking at the rest of their schedule, and I'm saying, okay, you give Georgia their props because Georgia is what Georgia is. But I feel like Georgia, I feel like if right now I give Ole Miss the edge in that game. I give
Yeah.
Ole Miss the edge in that game.
In the
Oklahoma,
Georgia game?
yes, I do. I give Ole Miss the edge in the Georgia game.
That'd be
On the
interesting.
road. I give them the edge on. I give them the edge in that game on the road. Oklahoma, will John Mateer be back by that time? That's a question to see. But other than that, 10-2 might be their floor.
10-2, yeah.
11-1.
That's he does it all the time, man. All right, so got to get to this next pick, man. And
All right.
it's I got the next pick. In the next pick, I'm gonna go with the same team that I picked at number 1 last week. I'm gonna put them at number 2 this week, and that's gonna be the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Solid
Um,
pick. Solid pick.
this is, I mean, this is still like I said, bro. You got to watch Vanderbilt play. I think a lot
Solid
of
pick.
people look at what just the scoreboard and don't really watch this team. Diego Pavia threw for like 300 some odd yards and 5 touchdowns last week.
Yep. Yep.
He was like the
Yep.
leading rusher with like 70 some yards. Like this is not a popular phrase is not this is not your granddaddy's Vandy. This is not last year's Vandy.
It's
Like
not.
it's
It's
they
not.
they have opened this offense up. And now they haven't played. Um, y- this next game against Alabama is going to be very telling for them. But man, they have looked impressive through 4 weeks of football. Man,
Yep.
what you think about that pick, Nick?
Yeah, I can't disagree, man. Vanderbilt, I guess Diego Pavia was very telling when he said, "Man, we are looking at trying to get a national championship. We trying to play for national championship," is what he said in the offseason. He was like, he was serious about it. And they have come out and they have, I dare say, they have come out and dominated every opponent that they've played.
Yeah,
They have come out and dominated every opponent they played. They've dominated them in every aspect of the game. Vanderbilt was like a complete team. They
yeah,
look like a complete team. They do. And if
yeah.
they do it this week if they do it this week on the road at Alabama, they put in college football on notice. And I will say this: I don't know if you said this or if I heard somebody else say this, but a Vanderbilt team could be the kryptonite for a lot of teams in the SEC moving forward in the future. Because when you look
Yeah,
at Vanderbilt, where it's located, when you look at the resources that they are building around their campus, the amount of financial resources that's being implemented into the football program, it's in downtown Nashville, which is a big city, but
right.
not a big city. It's going to be a very attractive location, especially if the football team is winning. So
Yeah,
I don't know, man. We could be looking at the beginning of a team that's about to take
and
that
the
next step.
alumni is full of doctors and lawyers.
That part,
Like
too. That part
the
too.
alumni base, all of them have great jobs. So
That part too. That part
that
too.
that helps. Man, yeah, everything you said, man. Like I said, I think the world will get a chance to see this team play against Alabama, and a lot of people. I'm not saying that they sneak it up on anybody because we saw what they did last year, but I think
Mhm,
they're gonna surprise a lot of people with how different they still do the quarterback run RPO
mhm,
downhill running that they do, but they have
mhm.
implemented a over the top passing game that makes it even more dangerous, and that
Yep,
defense is playing very very sound. So it's
yep.
gonna be interesting to see how Vandy navigates the season. Now, I think they got a tougher path to like a SEC championship than Ole Miss
Mm,
schedule.
mhm.
But what are you thinking about an Ole Miss Vandy SEC championship?
Bro, that would
What would that do
be
for college football?
wow. That would. That would
Oh,
really set the narrative that the narrative that the SEC is the deepest conference and the most competitive conference in the country would solidify that for me. Just to be honest,
like holy
because
NIL, Batman.
man, you literally have one of the teams that was at the bottom of the SEC for an extended period of time now playing for the SEC championship. It hasn't been that many teams in the SEC that has played for the conference championship. I think I can count on one hand: Florida, Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Missouri, Oklahoma, and
Yeah,
Texas. I mean, well, Texas because they just got into the conference. But
right.
before that, it wasn't that many that played. So I mean, wow, that'd be amazing. That'd be great.
That would be, man. All right, man. This is where this list starts to come alive just a little bit. Um, you got the next pick right here, Nick.
Yes, sir.
Number 3, through 5 weeks of football in the SEC. Who do you got, man? Who are you putting up there?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with. I still think they are one of the top teams in the country. That could change after this week. I mean, top teams in the SEC because this it could change at the end of the week. At the end of this week. But even though they had an idle week this past week, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma, man. I still got Oklahoma as one of the top 3 teams.
Oklahoma's coming.
In the SEC, man.
I agree.
I can't deny it. I mean, Oklahoma is what 4-0 in the SEC. I think they are 1-0 in the conference.
Right.
And things like that. Wins against Michigan and Auburn, of course. So I mean, I look at it. I mean, like I said, this pick right here, this is probably the one that can slide a couple of slots. You know,
Right.
with this with the upcoming weeks, you know, losing a quarterback and things and stuff like that. But I can't fault them for that now because they haven't played a game without him. What I've seen on the field with them has been the guy there. So I'm
Right.
gonna still say that they are one of the top 3 teams in the conference. And who knows, they still could potentially still look good with the backup quarterback playing in the game, Michael Hawkins. So I
Mm.
don't know, man. I still got Oklahoma as one of the top 3 teams.
Yeah. I mean, based on 5 weeks of football, you could put them at 2. Hell, you could put them at 1 if you wanted to.
Mm,
Um, I do think that those other teams' resumes with Ole Miss with the 3 conference wins and the way Vanderbilt looks on both sides of the ball, um, puts them ahead of Oklahoma, but Oklahoma is definitely deserving to be top, you know, top tier of this conference with what they put on the field so far.
yep,
That defense looks championship caliber,
yep,
especially the front 7.
yep.
It's the stuff championship teams are made of up front. Um, on the offensive end, they done well. I wanna even with Mateer in this offense, I wanna see, um I look at the Auburn game, and they were challenged against a very good defense. They were unable to run the football, and I think that comes into play later on in the season that may come back to bite them. So I would wanna see them a little bit more multidimensional on offense.
Mhm.
But man, like I said, through 5 weeks of football, they've been, you know, the record is immaculate. I can't take nothing away from that, man.
So let me ask you this question about Oklahoma. So they have potentially the next 3 weeks without John Mateer. What would be the record that they need to go through these next 3 games before for you to be all right? We good. I think Oklahoma's still in the picture to compete for the SEC championship.
What would be the record?
Yeah, what would be the record? I'm gonna pull up their schedule real quick so you can so you'll
Man,
see the next 3 games that they play. So the next 3 games that they play this weekend, they play Kent State at home, Red River rivalry against Texas and a neutral site, and then South Carolina at South Carolina.
I think they gotta
And
win
then
all those.
and then potentially John Mateer gets back for that Ole Miss game on the 25th.
I think they gotta win all those.
Okay. Kent
I
State,
think I
Texas,
think they
and South
gotta
Carolina. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta beat Texas. South Carolina does not look like a good football team. if
Mhm.
they're the football team, if Oklahoma is the football team that I believe that they are, they should handle South Carolina easily.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Texas is not playing particularly well. Um, uh, if they are like I said, if Oklahoma's the football team that I think that they are, where they can literally shut down the run and force you into being a passer. Arch Manning hasn't shown his ability to do that. They hadn't really shown the ability to protect him.
Mhm.
I think Oklahoma's got to win those next 3 games. If they drop one of these games, even with Michael Hawkins, it's gonna be, you know, before they get into that Ole Miss game because you got Mateer coming back for the Ole Miss game, but Ole Miss is playing well.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I don't see a path for them to the SEC championship if they lose one of these next 3 games. I don't.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Um, all right, all right. So with the next pick, I am gonna go here with the team Nick that beat us last week.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Texas
Not a
A&M.
bad pick. Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick.
Uh, undefeated team. Uh, Now, however, I will note that now we're getting closer and closer to that territory where you could put some um one loss teams ahead of some undefeated teams.
Yep. You
This was a pick that like it's a head scratcher for me. I kind of wrestle with this one, but uh undefeated team,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Undefeated football team. Their defense, while they haven't been, they didn't look good against the run against inferior talent. Uh, when they played Auburn, they looked great against the run. Um, the linebackers looked amazing. Offensively, I still think it's enough to a lot to be desired from them. They're like a big play offense. They're not consistent in driving the ball down the field. I think that'll come back to haunt you eventually down the road. But they still got they got the playmakers on offense. That's for
Mhm.
sure. You can't argue with that. Um, I think this is worthy of a number 4 rating for Texas A&M, and this is a team, like I said, I had Texas A&M in the SEC championship for my preseason pick. So, what you think about that, man?
Yeah, not a bad pick. I agree with you. This is where you start getting to. It's where you can actually start saying, well, could a one loss team be at their fourth spot over an undefeated team? But it's just my rule that I just feel like until you are beaten, then it becomes a conversation. But it does make you think. You know what I'm saying? It does make you think like, could I put one of these one loss teams above them? I just can't. I can't. You
Yeah,
play who's in front of you and you win. And if you win, I got to give you your credit for that. So that's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick at all.
yeah, yeah. Not a bad one, man. All right, so right here before halftime. Again, if you're in the chat, if you're watching, make sure you like the video. If you're also watching, make sure you subscribe. And if you're also watching, make sure you comment and put your rankings in the chat and let us know how we're doing, what you think about this list, man. And yeah, so we're gonna get into this next one, and this one's on you, Nick.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, and number
Uh,
5, who you got? Tell me who you got.
yeah, it's the last undefeated team on the list, man. Missouri. I mean, they that is I just stated it about Texas A&M. I mean, Missouri has wins over Kansas. They have wins over uh let me pull it up real quick. South Carolina, UMass this past weekend, Central Arkansas and ULL, of course. But I mean, I'm just sitting here saying, man, I mean, undefeated team, man. I cannot take away from what you did. You've played on you play who's on your schedule and you've won. Yeah, I'm just saying. I go there. I just put him there. I have to put him there. I can't. We can have the conversation, please. If there's an argument that you can make to tell me why, one of these one loss teams that we are about to debate between 6 and 10, because this probably will be where it gets interesting.
Right.
Why they should be there, and please tell me. But I'm just gonna be completely honest with you, man. It's an undefeated team, and I just feel like that matters, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Now this is the team that you could possibly put a one loss team in front of. If you want to make the argument that they had they haven't played anybody, it's definitely an argument there. I would counter that argument is with look how they've looked
Yeah,
against inferior talent. Like there's not a
yeah,
lot of teams in the SEC that have just been handling inferior talent the way that they have. We're
yeah,
talking about the top 5 team in the country in offense and defense.
yeah.
Like think about that. Also, they had the leading rusher in the SEC in Amon Hardy. So like,
Yep,
man, they are a force to deal with. Like you do not want to sleep on this Missouri team.
agree.
All they do is win 10 games, right?
Mhm,
Every year, Ole Miss,
mhm.
Lane Kiffin, and Eli Drinkwitz get disrespected on preseason lists, and every year they
Yep,
win 10 games.
every year,
Every year
every
never
year.
fails. Never fails, man. So what you got to tell me about that one, man? Or did you pick that one? You
Yeah,
picked that one. Yeah,
I
you
picked
told me
Missouri.
about
Yeah.
it. All right, man. So we're gonna check in with the collective here at halftime real quick. Let's see what we got here. Let me go back to Huggy. Got Huggy saying righteously we might have to accept Ole Miss and Vandy as top two. That's 100% correct, man. It's 100% correct. Yeah, he says well the Rooster is 1-0 so far. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And he says that UGA game would tell a lot about Ole Miss. I think they beat OU. Mm. What you think about that, Nick?
I mean, I think they got an opportunity, especially, John Mateer coming back off of injury, so, he hasn't played and hasn't been able to grip a football and throw a football in a while. I mean, that could be, where they could potentially try to scout and try to scheme to get them a better opportunity to win the game. But I mean, I think it's gonna be, I think it'll be a good game. But I I had Oklahoma as my preseason pick to go to the SEC championship game. Texas and Oklahoma was my preseason picks. So I don't know, man. I got to. It's hard for me to stick with that, but I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with that one because I look at this 3 game schedule that Oklahoma has in Kent State, Texas, and South Carolina, and I think that they can go in and win all 3 of those games. I
Right.
think even without Mateer, they can go 3-0, and when Mateer comes back, you know that if they can get through a tough game at Ole Miss, it'll set them up for the rest of the year because now that LSU game to me doesn't look as daunting as anything else. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look as daunting as anything else. I mean, yeah, LSU has a really good defense, but
Mm.
can the offense score? And
Right.
we've seen that Oklahoma's defense is pretty good. It's really is one of the tops in the country, and they should be able to to stunt LSU's offense even more. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, yeah, it will be, man. Um, a lot of what you said, bro. It just with Mateer coming back, uh, just coming back for that game, it's gonna be leave a lot on the table. But Ole Miss is playing well, so
Mm-hmm.
on
Mm-hmm.
both sides of the football too. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting, man. All right, we got Dwight with his list, man. I look forward to Dwight's list, man. I like the list that he put together. He's
Okay.
got Vandy, Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Mizzou, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Mississippi State. Um, what you think about that one, man? I mean, of course, it doesn't align up exactly with what we have. Usually they do, but this time
Mm-hmm.
is a little different. What you think about that one? He's got that win at
Yeah.
Georgia
Yeah.
ranked really high.
Yeah, he does, and which to me is interesting because that tells me a lot of what he thinks about the win Georgia had against Tennessee. Because
Mm,
if you feel to that point, if you feel that the Alabama win against at Georgia was was a signature win, Georgia should be somewhere up around that top half as well too, because they beat Tennessee on the road, and Tennessee is a pretty good team.
mm. That's fair.
Or what
That's fair.
or what we've seen so far from Tennessee. They're a pretty good team. Uh so yeah, that's the only thing that's interesting to me right there. That's
I
the only
think
thing
he
that's interesting.
explains it a little bit further down in the chat, man.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, okay.
let's see what Huggy says. Says so Huggy was dead on about the top two. Yeah, man, you called it.
Mhm. Yep.
Spot on about that one. Auburn dad, what's going on, man? He said he just stopped by to say hello. What's going on,
Yeah.
bro?
He said he had to take a
Appreciate you.
break.
Yeah. And Dwight
Uh,
says he says I got Bama up there because I don't believe any other SEC team can go into Georgia and beat them.
okay. So you still got a lot of respect for Georgia. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think
Do
Ole Miss can go in
do
there and
you
get 'em.
believe that? Yeah, I was
No, I
just
don't.
about to ask you, is there any
Yeah.
teams you think can go into Georgia and beat them in Athens?
Yeah, I think Ole Miss can go in there and win that game. I think they can. I think Ole Miss can go in there and win that game. Um,
By Oklahoma or
I think
Vanderbilt?
Oklahoma. I was just about to say I think Vanderbilt can go in there and win that game. I was just about to say Vanderbilt because you said what about Oklahoma? I said, man, I
Yeah.
was just about to say Vanderbilt. I was just about to say I think Vanderbilt can go in there and win that game. With what we've seen and how they play this year, I think Vanderbilt can go into Athens and win that game against Georgia. But you gotta understand me. I'm not a fan of Georgia's lines of scrimmage this year. Not a big fan of their lines of scrimmage this year on the defensive or offensive side of the ball. I mean, that's just
Offense
me though.
offense, I don't think they playing too bad, bro. Defensive line of scrimmage is not like classic Georgia. It
I
is but they grading out pretty high offense on the line of scrimmage offensively.
not really. Oh, okay. You talking about what? You talking about this past week's PFF scores did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know, I mean, because what I because a lot of the running that Georgia does, they've been doing a lot of off tackle type stuff, a lot of wide zone runs, and things stuff like that, trying to get to the
You
edge
know?
and find a crease to get there, and things and stuff. I look at it and I'm like the interior of that line. I'm not sold on the interior of Georgia's offensive line right now.
I kinda wish we'd run some wide zone runs and a
I
little
wish we
off
would
tackle
too.
every
I wish we would too. It would be great.
Alright, man, so let's see. We got Sharp saying, "We're showing our true colors."
I honestly don't know.
What
I don't know what that means.
what
I honestly
colors
don't
are
know what that
those,
means.
man? And we got Trevor Panier saying, "Peace, man. What's going on, man?
What's
Appreciate you
up?
stopping
What's
through."
up?
Hey, drop your top 3, top 5, top 10 in the chat, man. Yeah, if you're watching, man, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. You subscribe, you can become a part of the Keyboard Collective, and you can drop your comments in the chat. And we also do a show uh, that is called The Collective Speaks, where we pick pretty much comments from this show and we make entire topics about them. So, yeah, if you want your comment heard, make sure you dropping that in the chat. And like I said, the easiest way to become a part of the Keyboard Collective is to hit that subscribe button, and they are currently accepting PayPal. All right, all right, all right. Again, make sure you're hitting that like button, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button, and that way you can become a part of the Keyboard Collective and have your voice heard here as we get back into this list, man. I think it's on me. All right.
Yep.
So, uh, now, with this pick, I am going to go with what I feel like is the best one-loss team in the conference, and
Okay.
that is Alabama Crimson Tide.
Hey, not a bad pick right there. Not a bad. I'm starting to see a trend. I'm interested in these last couple of picks to see exactly what it looks
Alabama
like.
Crimson Tide. Because now here's the thing. Could you put them in front of Missouri? Absolutely, you could if you
Yep.
wanted to.
Yep.
Um, However, I would like I said, I would argue that Missouri again is a top 5 team in the on offense and defense in the country. They also had the lead of Russia in the SEC. They've looked very good in the team against the teams that they played, albeit an inferior competition. Um, Alabama, they still had that blemish, right? You can't take that away.
Hmm.
They had that one game where they just didn't look particularly well, didn't look themselves. But since then, they've they've been on point. Um, Big win in Georgia. I can't say that enough. You know, they lose that game. We talking about this team totally different. We're talking about this team totally different. Huge win at Georgia. Was it perfect? Initially it looked like it. But in the second half, they did show some struggles a little bit against a well coached Georgia team. That's to be expected. Um, but I think like, hey, they got a lot of big games in front of them. You know, they
They
play
do.
the number 2 they play the number 2 team next week. A win there would take them even higher. So like, um, man, what do you think about that pick, man? Right, sitting right there at 6.
Perfect. I mean, that's I got him right there, man. I got him on my personal list. I got him at 6 as well, right in the middle part of the conference. I'm just saying. I think they're the number one ranked one loss team that you can count right now. Like I said, I think a lot of people overreacted to the Florida State loss just because of the way it looked and just because of the way Florida State looked in the game. But ever since then, I mean, Alabama has handled business. They've done what they were supposed to do against the opponents they were supposed to play. And they went into Georgia and got a big win. So I mean, I put them right there. I got them right there at 6. I can't argue that at all.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, the only argument I think that you could logically make really is maybe you can put them ahead of Missouri, um, just because of Missouri's strength of schedule at this point. Uh, but man, like there's nobody that's looked good better against cupcakes than Missouri.
Yeah, agree.
Uh-huh.
It's
Talk
it's
about
it's
like,
the same, it's the same argument you made for Vanderbilt. Like they've done what they were supposed to do against
yeah,
uh the lesser inferior opponents. You know, they've
right,
dominated them. And the same thing with Missouri.
right. And you know, on a neutral field, who do I think would win that game? Um, Man, it depends on where it's at. But on a neutral field though, like I think Alabama probably would beat them. Um, if Alabama plays the way that they've been playing the last few weeks. But I don't think it'd be a cakewalk by any means necessary. Like I said, Eli Drinkwitz, I think is doing a phenomenal job down there. Um, and I keep saying his name, Kirby Moore, one of the hottest new coordinators in the
Mhm.
country. Um,
Mhm.
he's doing a phenomenal job too. So like, you got to put some respect on him. We got to start. Listen, like I said, Lane and Eli Drinkwitz get the most disrespect in preseason lists every single year, and every single year they win 10 games.
Yep.
It's like the epitome of starting from the bottom, and now we here. Like every year they got to work their way up. So, but yeah, I think yeah, 6 right there is a good spot for Alabama, the best one loss team in this conference, bar none. I think. So I don't have an issue with that, Nick. I think you agree. So we're gonna
Yep.
move on to the next one, which is on you, Nick.
Yeah.
And tell me who you got.
The team that they beat this past weekend, I got Georgia at number 7. That's the number 7 team in the conference. This week, man. Uh, Close loss to Alabama. Uh, this past weekend. But had a very big had a big win against Tennessee on the road. Easily could have went the other way in that game as well too. Um, but they just find a way to win. They find a way to win, well, except for this past weekend. But yeah, man, I can't deny it, man. Georgia's still a decent team. They're still a good team. Um, yeah, I got them at 7, man. Even though there are some things that I don't like about team. Now I mentioned them earlier, like both lines of scrimmage. I'm not a fan of both lines of scrimmage, and I guess I'm compared to what I've seen from Georgia in the past, and things and stuff of that nature. But I mean, still to it, man. They beat Tennessee. Um,
Right.
they had a lot close loss to Alabama. Close loss to Alabama. Um, they're going to be in every game they play, so I know that. So it just depends on what happens and what's that small thing that's going to tip it to either side. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't have a problem with that pick right there. Like you said, close loss to a very good football team, albeit it was a home loss, right? But it's not like
Mhm.
he was playing. Kentucky at home.
Yeah.
Um, this is a very talented football team that's played. And like you said, they just find a way to win, man. Like it's almost unexplainable. I attribute it to coaching. If when people ask me what good coaching looks like, I point to the Georgia Bulldogs.
Mhm,
And I point
mhm,
to the fact that we always point out holes in their offense, holes in their defense, holes in their quarterback room, and we always say that they're not this good, they're not this good, they're not this good. But then by the end of the year, you look up and they've only lost one game and they're playing in the SEC championship.
yep,
He's like, how did that happen? So like I attribute it to coaching, man. So but I think, yeah, I think that's a good place for him. Seventh. I don't think you fall too far from losing that game. I think you're still better than all the rest of the teams that haven't been picked yet.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, I don't have any issues with Georgia Bulldogs coming in at number 7.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so this next one right here is on me, and I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
Yeah, man.
Go
Yeah.
with Tennessee at
I
8.
like I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
Tennessee 8. Close loss, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee is a team that's I haven't seen them actually look bad in a
Mm,
football game. Even though they lost games, like they look pretty decent in the games that they lost. At Georgia, you know, that first quarter they couldn't do no wrong.
mhm,
All right.
mhm,
So I gotta give them credit for that. Now, dropping the games is what's got them at 8. And then there is a bit of I can't explain it. What would you say that Tennessee lacks?
um, I would say Tennessee. Yeah, I get what you're saying. That there's something that I feel like is missing on the
It's
football
missing,
team.
yeah.
Um, I know what I would say they're missing what Georgia has in those close
Coaching?
games. In those close games.
Okay, okay, okay.
In those close games. So like in those close games, you like okay. So for example, like if Georgia's in a close game, right? You are going to be like, all right, I think Georgia's gonna pull this out just because I just know the mentality of the coach and I know what the coach is telling them. Now it didn't happen
Yeah,
this past weekend. Let's just be real. But he has a track record of showing that guess what? In close games, you better put your money on Georgia because Georgia's gonna be able to pull it out. I don't know if you can say that
right.
about Tennessee just yet.
I got you. I got you.
And I don't know if you can say that about Tennessee just yet. You know what I'm saying? But we may be contradicting ourselves with these next two picks coming up because of what we just said right there. But I think that from what I'm speculating, because I from the way it's going, I feel like we going in the direction that it's only two teams that we probably gonna pick.
That's
But
probably
uh but but yeah, I don't know if Tennessee has that instinct to where you just know like when the game is on the line, when it's time to go put the football in the end zone, they gonna go do it. And I don't know if you have that. I don't know if you feel that just yet.
so let me ask you this.
Okay.
Could Tennessee be higher than this on this list?
Okay, let's all right.
Just out of
Yes,
yeah,
they
I'm
could
I'm
be.
thinking. Yeah.
Yes, Tennessee could be higher on this list. But
That's
if you don't know, if people that's watching, if you don't know, the first five teams are undefeated. They have not
right,
lost a game. And in my personal opinion, you have to give credence to that. That has to be something that you have to put into it. Teams that have beat the teams that they played in front of them. They have beat them. I'm just
right,
just being completely honest with you. You have to give credence to that. And then of course the way that they looked in those games. We talked about Missouri. We talked about how Missouri looked against the opponents that they have played. They have looked really good. I think you said they're top 5 offense and defense in the country on both sides of the
right,
ball. So I
right,
mean, you have to give credence to that, man. And they haven't lost a game. Now if and when they do lose a game, then we have a conversation
right.
at that time. But right now, from what we've seen on the field from the first 5 weeks, they're undefeated. So,
right,
you know?
right. How, I got another question, a follow up question for you.
Okay.
That Tennessee Georgia game went to overtime.
It did.
If Tennessee pulls that game out, are they the number one team in the SEC right now? In a three
Number
point loss
1
at in a 3-point loss at home, they lost to Georgia. If they pull that game off, there we're talking about an undefeated team.
undefeated Tennessee team. Yeah.
Would they be the number one team? I think hands down they'd be the number one team in the conference right now.
You think they'll be the number 1 team in the conference?
I think so.
I think that's an argument. I think you still would have to consider Ole Miss and Vanderbilt at the top, just from the way that they've looked on the field. I think you still have to put them in conversation with that. Oklahoma will still have a claim to saying they could be the number 1 team as well, if that were to happen, because of the way that they've looked on the field.
I I just don't think none of those teams would have had a better win. Because make no
Up,
mistake
up
about
until
it.
up until this point right now, you saying they wouldn't have had a better. Okay, so do you not think that Vanderbilt's win over South Carolina was a good win in the
Well,
fashion that it was on the road?
I mean, it was a great win to for the ranking overall resume off of, but we're talking about the South Carolina team that's been on the sidelines since we started these rankings.
Okay, all right. Well, what about
But so
Vanderbilt?
I guess what I'm saying is, I guess the point I'm trying to get at is like the margins are razor thin. It's really important that you win the games that are in front of you, um,
Hmm.
because I mean, realistically, Alabama beats Florida State. They're the number one team in the conference. Their resume, you would put them up there as the number one team in the conference. The lines of they're razor thin. It's really important that you win your games because when you don't, you can fall to number 8 when you probably should be in the top 3 easily.
That makes sense. I mean, because I look at it like this, because I mean, people always want to say there's a difference in college football than there is in the NFL. In the
Right.
NFL, whoever you beat, your record matters in the NFL.
Yeah.
So it matters who you beat and who you win.
That's
I mean,
that's
and who
very
you
true.
play. So my thing is, why can't it be the same thing in college football? I mean,
Yeah.
let's just be honest, man. You play who's on your schedule. That's who it is. You play who's on your schedule. And I'm not gonna and I'm not and I can make the argument that all NFL teams are not equal as well.
Yeah.
There are some
Yeah.
horrible NFL teams in the league right now. There are a lot of horrible NFL teams in the league right now. And we
Very
sit here and
true.
talk about a lot of teams that have easier schedules and that have easier paths and things and stuff of that nature. But I mean, college football is the only sport to where we actually have to sit back and look at brands and be like, oh, that game would be a better game. Do you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
because that would be a
Yeah.
better game. That's
Right.
the only instead of just looking at who they played on the field and what happened and the
Right,
outcome
right.
of the game. That's the only thing that is the difference. For some reason we have to
It's
take
college
it to we
football
have
is
to
the
take that
only
into
sport
account.
college football, only is the only sport where we try to decide where we kinda decide who can play for championships by predicting the future.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a great point. Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of the
Yeah.
college football playoff rankings is about who you think would make a good matchup
Yeah.
or who
That
you
part.
think would you know what I mean? Like, because the argument always turns into at some point, well, this team played this team 5 years ago and they got blown off the field. So we don't want to see that again. So you should put this team in. And it's like this is the only sport that we do that in. In every other
And
sport, it's like you play, you earn your right, and then you win your way to a championship.
and the argument that I think a lot of people gonna make in that situation is, well, that brand probably does better in recruiting. They probably recruit a different guy. Well, guess what? We in a whole new time of college football where NIL and the transfer portal, as we have seen, especially with this year in the SEC, has parity out a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So we can't just really say that anymore, that this team is just gonna beat this team every week like that. Like, if we can't just say that TCU right now Well, back then when TCU played Georgia for the national championship, you couldn't have just said you probably could have said, yeah, TCU probably get blown out in the game. But now,
Right.
because of the transfer portal, if they play that game next year or if they play that game this year, you don't know what could happen in that game because instead of because you're just looking at the name on the helmet and the jersey, but because of players that's on the field, you don't know what could happen. That could probably be a really good game, and you don't know. So I mean, I just look at it and I'm just like, man, I'm just like, we got to get to the point to where I think you who the person that's the team that you play on the field is what matters. What happens on the field is what matters. If you lose to a team, you lost.
Yeah.
If you beat that
Because
team, that should matter.
because I and I don't want to get too far on it, but like we all saw the AP poll rankings, right? And it's like
Yeah,
some of it's laughable. Some of it is absolutely laughable. No Mississippi State on there is laughable.
yeah.
Even the fact I want people to tell me this, and I know I might sound like an Auburn homer, but what win has Notre Dame have on their schedule that's better than our win?
It's a good
We're
question.
both 2-loss football teams.
Good question.
One of us is ranked like 20th in the top 25. What have they won to deserve that? Not
And then
saying that
and
we
then
deserve it, but I'm just asking that question.
and then if you want to compare both losses, Notre Dame loses to Miami by 3. Then they lose to Texas A&M by what 3 or a touchdown. Whatever they lost to them by. Auburn loses to Oklahoma, who a lot of people saying has one of the best defenses in the country by 7.
Right.
And then if you go back and watch the game, that game could have went out could have went out a different could have turned out to be different. And then you go into Texas A&M without having a great offensive game. Now, granted, there were a couple of plays that took some points off the board potentially for Texas A&M, but you go in there and you don't have a great day offensively, and now you sit here and you look at it and you like, well, team only lost by 6 points.
Right.
So so your point, I understand your point exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get it, man. And like, I just brought that up. I'm not saying that Auburn should be ranked or anything like that, but I just brought that up to point out the fact that like the brands matter and like what people perceive of your team and your coach, like that matters, and not so much actually what you've done on the field matters when it comes
Mhm,
to ranking.
mhm.
When it comes to the AP poll.
Yeah,
But not on this show. On this show, we don't care about that. What we care about is what you put on the field. If you're in the comment section, please hit that like button. If you're watching, hit that like button and subscribe. As we get to these last two teams and we get to find out who gets relegated to the sideline until next week. All right. All right. So, Nick, this
yep,
one's on you.
yes,
You got number 9 here. We're getting close
mhm,
to the moment people all wait for.
yep.
uh, and who you got, man?
Team that should have been ranked last week, and that should have been a ranked game last week between two really good teams. I'm going with the Mississippi State Bulldogs, man. Mississippi State at number
Mississippi
9.
State. Mississippi
You
State
look
at number
you
9.
look at what Mississippi State has done. Mississippi State has wins. Uh, Arizona State, Southern Miss, Alcorn State, Northern Illinois are their wins, and then they have a overtime loss to Tennessee at home. Is what they
Mm.
have. Uh, and we just talked about Tennessee. What is it that Tennessee lacked? And this is
There's
why I
something.
said this is why I said we could be contradicting ourselves because Tennessee found a way to win the game
Right.
on the road against Mississippi State, which is a really good team. And a lot of people that called me crazy in the offseason saying that Mississippi State was going to be a really good team
Yeah,
and win 6 games and go to a bowl game, which they may win more than 6. We'll
they
see.
could.
But nah, man, Mississippi State is a really good team, well coached team. The problem with Mississippi State that Mississippi State was having was the fact that their defense couldn't stop anybody last year. Offense was able to score last year, even though they lost Kevin Coleman out there wide receiver at Mississippi at State.
Mhm.
They were able to come in and get guys like Anthony Evans and other guys to come in and be part of that receiving core. Brennan Thompson as guys that are down the field threats. But what they did in the offseason, what gave me a lot of confidence in what they did was they went out and basically overhauled the defensive side of the ball. And you see what they are doing. They're able to stay in games now and not get blown out. The defense are able to make timely stops to give the offense a chance to keep games close or even go up in games. Because they were ahead in that game for a while. For a minute, it wasn't like it was a back and forth game, but Mississippi State was leading the game some. So that was a great game back and forth between them and Tennessee. So yeah, man, Mississippi State, I got them as the number 9 team in the country, 4-1 overall record.
Yeah, man, I agree with that pick, man. I think down here in this, like you could mix some of these teams up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like the order that they in though. Mississippi State for sure offensively is they had a good offense last year, so
It did.
that wasn't
It did.
surprising. Like you said, defense has been the problem. They've been able to get some timely stops there. I still think that they're a tier. I think they're a tier up under Tennessee in terms of like roster talent. Like
Agree.
yeah, I
Agree.
think Mississippi State is still building their roster out to be a better football team. But when they do get that talent, and they will if they keep winning like this, look out for this football team for sure. That's not a bad spot for him. I think I I kind of know where his next pick is going, so like I think that it's a toss up between these two teams. You probably could mix them up, just based on thus far. But yeah, I like Mississippi State right there.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
All right, man. So here we are. We've got uh 7 teams left. We got the last team. I got the last pick. Uh, got the last team to make this top 10. The rest of them are gonna be on the sideline. This is arguably uh the moment that people come forward so they can see who gets left on the sideline. Um, so without further ado, with this pick, I'm going to pick here we got drum roll. LSU Tigers.
Great pick.
LSU. Uh,
Good pick.
this is a team that I think was, on most people's projections to be finished pretty high in the SEC this year. I know
Yep.
I had Nussmeier as at least a top 2 quarterback in the SEC before the season.
Yeah.
I thought he was returning, experience was gonna help. And LSU's problem was basically running the football and defense last year.
Mhm.
Uh Seems like that problem is still running the football and defense. And now coupled with a quarterback who's injured, seemingly. Um, yeah, I think 10 is a good spot for them. Everything that they want to accomplish in the SEC is still in front of them, though.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this is a team that I think is on a downward spiral. Yeah, what you think about that one, man? Pulling them off the sideline and sending everybody else to the sideline.
I agree. I mean, a lot. I think some people will look at it and be like, "Why not Texas?" Well, look at Texas's last couple of opponents: UTEP, Sam Houston State, San Jose State. And you look at who LSU has played. LSU has played Clemson, Florida, Ole Miss, Louisiana Tech, Southeastern Louisiana. That right there tells me everything I need to know. And just looking at it, and I'm just saying, yeah, I sit here and say I think LSU's defense is really good. Don't get it twisted. I think the defense is really, really good.
Yeah.
But the offense for me is the question mark. Just trying to see exactly where this offense will go and how it will continue to evolve over the rest of the season. I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, and which is kind of baffling to me because the question mark was if the offense can keep doing what it has been doing over the past couple of years, and the defense just takes a step further and do what they've been doing so far this season. LSU should be at the top. You know, this should be one of the most. This should be one of the teams where everybody's saying, "Man, that's a national championship contender." But what you have seen on the field so far through the first 5 weeks is a defense that has been able to stop teams, but an offense that has not been able to score that has scored enough. But then you see this past weekend a defense that does get stops, but an offense that does not have enough to score enough points to win against a really good team, a really good Ole Miss team. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this LSU team moving forward. Well, LSU offense moving forward.
Yeah. It's puzzling, man. They are Jekyll and Hyde on both sides of the football.
It just switched. It
Complimentary
just switched.
football, yeah, it just doesn't exist. It's like whatever side of the ball shows up, the other side is not going to show up, almost guaranteed.
Mhm. Yep.
Um,
What it feel like. That's
so
what it feel like.
that's interesting, man. So there it is, man. Top 10 list. Uh, we got Ole Miss at number one, Vanderbilt number two, Oklahoma, followed by Texas A&M. Then we got Missouri, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi State, and lastly, in that top 10, we got LSU, and we got the other six teams on the sideline. That Memphis logo, that's actually Arkansas. Uh, until they win another SEC game, they'll remain the Memphis Tigers. Then we got the Auburn Tigers, and the sidelines are in no order, by the way. Maybe we should start doing that.
That'd be interesting.
uh, and then you got the USF Bulls there, and that's actually Florida. Again, they lost to Group of 5 teams, so they lose that logo. Then you got Kentucky, South Carolina, and Texas. All right, Nick. This is what we do around this time. Of these teams on the sideline, which one of these teams do you think has the best case to make it into the top 10?
I don't think this. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I don't know, bro. I mean, you can easily say Texas, but Texas. I think Texas's schedule is about to get to what you think the schedule is be. Because let's just be real. These past 3 weeks have not been. Excuse me. These past 4 weeks, they haven't really played. Anybody that would make us be like, all right, they need to be back in, stuff like that. Outside of that Ohio State game, Auburn, two close losses back to back on the road. Could that be a case that you can potentially put them in over LSU? I don't know. Maybe at the 10th spot. I think it's hard. I think it's hard to potentially put any of those teams in the top 10 right now at this particular point in time.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. I guess what you're gonna see on most lists is probably gonna be Texas, and I think
Yeah.
Texas will be there just based off brand alone. And we talked about this. Like, I think what happens with a lot of these lists, and when people pick a lot of these lists, is that what you see is like people make preseason picks and they don't want to be wrong. So instead of just saying that they're wrong, they'll argue for it. Like you'll make an argument for Texas to be on this list or to be higher than that with nothing to back it up. Like they haven't played or beat anybody, but because you picked them so high preseason, you got to make an argument to put them on the list. And I think that happens a lot, man. Um, so I
But
don't know,
but
man.
but
Go ahead.
this is also the question for Texas as well too. Texas hasn't looked good in the games that they have against the teams that they played. Like they haven't looked good as a football team.
True.
Like overall, like they haven't looked good. Like I mean, if they were coming out beating teams and just looking really good against them consistently, I mean, you can make an argument to put them on the list because I think you said that you think that they have the best loss in the country against Ohio
So
State.
far, so
You
far,
know,
I think.
but the thing is, they haven't looked good on the field against the teams they played. San Jose State, who else? Sam Houston.
I
You
haven't.
know, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you tell.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean,
Yeah,
okay,
it doesn't look good. It
you
does not look
know.
good.
So I
It's
mean, it's the whole point about this is we're not rating these teams because if we were rating these teams, Texas would definitely be in the top 10. Auburn would
would they
possibly
though?
still be in it if we were rating them. Yeah, because on a neutral field, you would still take Texas over a lot of these other teams. You would still favor them if you were
I
rating
don't
these guys.
man. I don't
You
know.
you was you would still you would more than likely still favor Texas
On a
on a neutral
on
field.
on a neutral field, I'm just trying to see. I'd probably take Texas over LSU.
My point. So they would still be in the top 10.
Yeah,
So you see
but
what I'm
that's
saying?
what I'm saying. It's close, but that's about it. Like the rest of them,
You know what I'm saying? So we rating, but the
it'd
thing
be
is,
rough.
man, it's just I think we just we ranking these guys, man. We ranking them. We just
Yeah,
basically doing it off of what has happened on the field, uh, and we, of what has happened on the field is what has happened. You will still you still take them. You will still probably take
yeah,
that Texas team. You know, Texas
yeah,
will probably be favored in some of those games,
yeah,
and things stuff like that. So I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. I think the list is a solid list.
I
In
think
my
so too.
personal opinion,
It's
because of you've seen what these teams have done on the football field. You've seen who they beat, who they played, and who they've lost to. A lot of them have great losses, and you can actually see Alabama beat Georgia, Georgia beat Tennessee, Tennessee beat Mississippi State. I mean, literally, and it's odd
yeah,
that it failed out that way. It failed that way because that's interesting. Um, so yeah, I'm not upset with the list at all.
yeah. Let's take a look at what some of these comments say, man, because apparently
Okay.
it's not a favorite list. Let's check it out. Let's see what where were we at? Yeah, Mike McKinney said that I wish we would run, period. Yeah, I assume he's talking about Auburn, and
Yeah, at
he's correct. I wish we would run the football. That'd be nice.
least this
Um,
past weekend should have.
yeah, at least this past weekend would have been nice. Got Sharp saying y'all move the goalposts every week. You let them talk long enough, the truth will come out. I don't know. Last week we had all undefeated teams, and now we have all the undefeated teams ranked 1 to 5. So like I think the goalposts are pretty consistent.
I'm trying to understand
And
what
where's your
goal.
list, man? Put your list up. Like you don't criticize the list without putting the list up. What's your list? And we got a cap, big blue cap.
Okay, all right.
It said Georgia is rocky. You think you have to beat them, and they pull out. You think you had them beaten, they pull out a win. Yeah, yeah, that is very true. We got tight checking in. Tight, what's going on? He said, really, really number 6. Wow, yeah, man. Uh, yeah, number 6 is where we got him. Said Tennessee lacks killer instinct. Yeah, I think that's what it is, Travell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that thing. I don't know what it is. It's that they're a good football team. I'm telling you, when you start looking around, you like, yeah, they can pass the ball. They've always been able to run the football. Defensively, they've always been stout. But it's just like that one thing. And even now they getting better quarterback play than they got last year. So
Mm-hmm.
like even now, man, it just seems like it's always something missing from Tennessee. And maybe that's it, that killer instinct. And he said, "For everyone looking to pop you from to whoop us, stop dreaming." All right, man. Hey, it's easy to say in the chat. Those guys got to go out there and play. I don't know if I'm gonna pick Alabama or Vanderbilt to win that game. I haven't really decided yet. That's actually gonna be a close. This a tough game to call. You gave that one any thought yet, Nick?
I have actually.
I
I
don't I
have.
don't want you to spoil your picks, man. But
I
was
mean, I
this a
don't
tough
care.
one?
Not
Was this a
really. It wasn't. No, it was not really a tough one at all. To be honest with you, uh, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't a tough one at all. But I mean, if y'all want a spoiler, I give it to you. If you want to wait until Friday, I do it then. You
man? You
tell me
can
what it is,
wait
man.
until Friday, man.
I
You can
wait
wait
until
until
Friday.
Friday. All right, so you got Oklahoma, TAMU, and Mizzou. Wow, yeah, 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 tight. We got. How is you putting these catfish on the screen? Like, how is this
Who
happening?
knows? We don't know. I have no idea. Shout out to Tight though.
It's
Tight
another
Sports
wow.
Alabama.
Right,
Tight
tight
Sports
sport
Alabama
Alabama making.
football mega cast. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Tight Sports.
Yeah, man, facts. Yeah, he got a bunch of W's in this. Wow. I said Oklahoma cheated. They should be lower. It's a different conversation, Bill. It's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Oklahoma is like they have one win that's just like an asterisk by one of them? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, that's interesting.
Said no,
Asterisk by
Tennessee should
win.
be third. Would be third. Oh, I think he's saying if Tennessee was undefeated, would they
They'll
be
be
third with
third.
that win
Yeah.
against Georgia? Oh, okay. Got Dwight saying Nick will fit right in with the college football playoff committee, put record over everything.
I think
I,
it's important.
I, I think who you beat is important. College football committee does put record over everything, but like when you beat somebody, then you move up. Um, and then they have the task of going like across conference trying to rank teams. Ranking teams by who you beat in one conference is I think it's pretty fair because they playing each other. So uh
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it'll all, shake itself out, to be honest. Got Latoya checking in. She's saying, "Hey, how you doing?"
What's up? What's up, Latoya? What's going on? What's going on?
we got tight again with another wild with tight is surprised. Like you
Nah,
said,
I don't think Tight's surprised. I think Tight just being funny with y'all. He ain't surprised.
tight is surprised. You got Travell saying, "True, if Auburn didn't get cheated by Oklahoma, they'd be on the list." Uh, man,
Possibility.
I don't want to talk about that, man. It's considered whining.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I said,
That's a
"Well,
good one.
both of y'all fit in with the college football playoff committee." Man, I take that as disrespect to White. I feel like
I
you.
I do too. I do too.
I feel like that's disrespectful. Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. And then we got Travell saying there's too many teams in college to do that. You have to narrow it down in some type of way. Yeah. Yeah. True, true, true. I said they don't play in the conference, so that helps them. Not saying the name historically holds more weight. Oh, yeah. Dwight said,
You just proved the point of what he said. The name historically holds
yeah,
more weight.
more
So
weight.
that's the only thing. That's the only time in college football where that happens.
Right.
The only sport
Only
where
time
that
in
happens.
sports. Mhm.
Yeah, really, only sport.
Right.
Only in
Right. Like,
sports where that happen.
yeah,
I
like
think
if
it happens in college basketball too. Sometimes you'd be like, well, all right, this team. I'm like,
yeah,
all right,
but
man.
even the thing about college basketball is that tournament field is so wide that they do a good job of giving every team an opportunity to win.
I mean, well, when I say in college basketball, it comes to when who gets seated where. When I say that, like who would be a 1 or a 2 seed, because that can change the direction of a team getting to the final four or the elite eight or something like that.
Right. I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. But as far as like to the degree that college football does it, like yeah, it doesn't happen like that anywhere else. Like if the Eagles, if the Panthers beat the Eagles, my bad, Nick. I was just trying to find a bad team.
Nah, you good, you good. We not
if
good.
the Pan-
We not great right now.
yeah, if the Panthers beat the Eagles, like they not the NFL is not going to look at the playoffs and be like, well, the Eagles have won the last couple of championships, so we should let you see what I'm saying. Like it doesn't really happen
Yeah.
like that. The only place it happens like that is in college football.
Yep.
And
Very
it's
true.
because the field is just so large. Like it's so many teams that you gotta like Travell just said, you gotta find a way to narrow it down. But I think interconference, man, you can rank these teams off record, especially conference records. They playing each other.
Yep.
White said, if I look solely at record, my list would look like y'all's. I don't know, man. I liked your list. I think you just, you know, put Alabama way too high, but
Yeah, that's
that's
it.
that.
That was the only thing. I mean, technically, your list looks like ours, except you got Alabama at 3, and you have, I believe, he had Tennessee above. I think he had LSU above Mississippi State. I think that's the only difference. Other than that, your list kind of look like ours,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
He said you pick LSU over Texas. And then he said, I wouldn't take Texas. You're smoking dope.
Man, Texas would still be favored on a neutral field. Texas would be favored.
Mm-mm. That'd be a tough one, man.
Texas would be favored. Texas,
I'm
if I'm mistaken, Texas was favored against Ohio State on the road in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they said we played 3 tournaments in basketball. That's true. All right, Nick, man. So yeah, what y'all tell me what y'all think, man, in the chat, in the keyboard collective. Make sure you drop in your top tens, top fives in the chat. Don't just tell us that we're wrong. Give us some insight of what you think is right. So drop those in the chat, man. This has been a great show. I appreciate you, Nick,
Yes,
again for
sir.
ranking these teams with me, man. I'm gonna put this out, of course, on the Twitter. You guys will be able to see it. And then remember, like we got looks like 26 people in the chat right now.
That's what's
So
up. That's what's
yeah,
up.
you guys all 26. If I can get all 26 of y'all, well, somebody left. So all 25 of y'all hit the hit the like button at the same time, right? So we're gonna do it on three. So, all right, one, two, three. Everybody hit the like button. All right. So I should have 25 likes. If I don't have 25 likes, we're gonna do it again.
Well, you got to factor in some of the people probably already hit the like button.
That's true. That's true. I'm not gonna hold y'all to it. But yeah, if you hear, man, hit the like button. If you also here and you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to be part of the conversation, please subscribe to the channel so that you can comment and become a part of the Keyboard Collective. And again, as always, on Tuesdays, I think Keyboard Collective is accepting members. All right, man. Before we get out of here, man, I'm gonna catch these last few comments. We got Dwight saying, "Hey, looks like Ohio. They look okay versus Ohio, then started to look like garbage the more teams they play." Yeah, yeah, it happens. That's college football for you, especially this conference, man. It'll do that to you. Said Texas was ranked number one in the preseason. That's why they favored Ohio State. Yeah, yeah, they were. A lot of people bought into the last name hype. You know, it happens. And then we got young Trail showing up. What's up, fellas? I already hit that like button. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Hey, drop your top fives, top tens in the chat, man. Let us know. All right, Nick.
Yeah.
It's about that time of the show where we do the outro, man. I'm cue the music up.
Yeah.
All right, man. This has been a very, 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 very good show. Got our top 10 rankings out. Gonna put those out for you guys. We're gonna do it all over again next week. I got a bit of a surprise for you guys coming in the Keyboard Collective. I want y'all to check this out. In January, I know it's a long ways away, but it's really not. In January, we will be electing officers for the Keyboard Collective.
Okay.
We need the president, we need the vice president, sergeant at arms, secretary. So in order to be in that running for any of those positions, all you got to do is subscribe and comment in the chat, because the Keyboard Collective themselves, the chat, will be the ones who are voting for these positions. So by commenting, you are essentially making your ballot known. So make sure you comment and making sure you making your voice heard so that people know you. So when it comes times to vote for these positions, and I'm gonna get graphics ready for it all and everything. But when it gets time to vote for these positions, your name will be considered, man. But Nick, tell the people how to find you, my guy.
Yeah, man. Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. We here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Come chill with us around the water cooler, man. We have a great time. So yeah, check us out. We appreciate y'all so much. Follow us on Twitter at CoolersPod23 and on TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk on TikTok, man. So we appreciate y'all, man, for rocking with us. And we appreciate so much letting us come over here and rock with you as we pick the teams every week. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you for stopping through. A lot of fun, man. But my guys, we gotta get up out of here. This has been another episode of SECZN Live. And I am host, code name Tez. And until next time, we're out of here.